Okay, guys, welcome to Tutor. Today we will be discussing few of the general questions and answer which we came across through the multiple people who approach us. Okay, so the first in the line is why DSA and system design needed to crack the interview in top tier companies. So first of all, why the top tier companies chooses DSA and system design? So let me answer this question in the two ways. First of all, in the top tier companies, what happens is they don't bother about the technologies which you have to work on or which you are working on. For example, it doesn't matter to them whether you are working on Java, C, C++ or something, because what they believe in, any technology or a language can be taught to a person within a 6 month to 8 month. But what they need from the person is a thought or a approach process. Okay, so what a thought process is? So it is like how a person can think for solving a particular problem. Now the problems, so the word thought process, let me write it down here. Okay, now and out of box thinking. So what happens is all the problems which comes into the top tier companies. So if you look at the top tier companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Netflix. Okay, so these companies, what they are having, they have a very large systems. Okay, and they have a lot of services built in. They have a lot of products built in, and they want a person to. And when the problem comes to this, companies are very generic in language or a vocab. For example, the problem can be okay, how you can collect a data from thousands of a data set, or how you can maintain top 10 most frequently occurring elements like this. So they are looking for a person who can approach the solution for this problem, or it's not about a single solution, it's about multiple solutions. And the person should have a good ability to uh, choose which are the efficient solution among the multiple solutions. Okay, so this is what they are looking into a person. So in these thoughts, they think, they come to a conclusion that the DSA, data structures and algorithms, is a better options to ask for. Data structures and algorithm is a topic or a skill set where a person can use any of the language. It can be implemented in any the solutions can be implemented in any language. But data structure plays a very vital role in day-to-day coding. For example, if you code in any language, you need to work with data only. For example, a array. Array is nothing but a homogeneous collection of same data elements. Okay, and if you are, so that is also a data structure only. So even in day-to-day life, we need to choose between multiple data structures. So that's why data structure being a very keen point for the top tier companies. Now coming to the second part, which is called as system design. Why the system design is important? Now what happens is, as soon as we have like 2+ years of experience. Okay. Companies expected us to design the solutions of the systems. So when we say system is a whole. For example, if you talk about Amazon, okay, let's talk about the shopping. When you open the Amazon and you do the shopping. At the same time, lakhs of people or millions of people are doing the shopping at the same time. So such amount of data need to be handled by the system. So when we say a system is like an ecosystem of multiple things. First of all, I'm just taking an example of Amazon because it is more relevant right now. So Amazon website itself is comprises of multiple microservices. Okay, microservice is a simple service within having its own ecosystem, like having its own database, having its own REST APIs, having its own cache, having its own API gateway, load balancer and everything. So multiple microservices and they talk to each other. So when a person having a good understanding of this such kind of a system, they can deal with the ambiguities. When we talk about ambiguities, such ambiguities are like when to use a MySQL, when to use a NoSQL. In the NoSQL also you have multiple types of NoSQLs like Redis, CouchDB, MongoDB. Okay, so among this, which ones are the better? Sometimes you have to deal with the non-functional requirements like consistency, availability, partition tolerance. Which one will be better? Okay, how you will scale the system? What are the different techniques to scale the systems? All these questions or all this basic knowledge a person should have, because that's how a particular top tier company is running. Okay, so it's a very general knowledge the company is looking for. So that's why they have the system design round in the interview. Okay, and they are not, so for the system design, they are not looking for the exact answer. They are more looking for the how you approach the solution. Okay, and in the system design, I'm particularly talking about how you deal with the ambiguity, what is more relevant for the system, whether the consistency or the availability, what are the different things, how you maintain the resiliency, how your cache should work, like whether it should be a write back, write through. Okay, and all this stuff. Okay, that's why the system design and DSA are very, very important. And one thing I want to make a point of is it doesn't matter how much experience you have, either 2 years, 5 years, 15 years, 20 years, you have to go through this two at least. Okay, DSA and the system design. It is going to be a with you on a longer path in your career. Okay, now coming up to the next question. How do we help to crack the interviews in big tech firms? Okay, so this question, let me reframe it. How tutor is going to help you out? If I talk in terms of DSA, as I told you earlier, a person need to have a thought process. So our main goal here to build is to build your thought process. Now let me redefine the thought process. It means that how can you think about the solutions of a problem in multiple directions? Okay, that is a thought process. How you approach a solution. Okay, for a problem, what should be the main motivation behind a particular solution which you have think of? Okay, that we call as a thought process. And why it is important? Because what happens now is the if I talk in DSA, there are n number of problems which companies ask of. So when you go and speak about any solution, then they come to know that whether you have how you approach that solution, how you, that solution come to your mind, why you thought of this. So that is the most important one. So all this comes under the thought process. Another thing is there are n number of questions in DSA. You can't mug up everything. So every question you can or every problem you can think of as a fresh problem only, and then start thinking from the very, very naive approach or the brute force approach. Then you find out why, what is the complexity of this brute force approach. Then you think of what are the points or the places in the brute force approach which make this complexity very high, and then you try to reduce the complexity at that point. Okay, and such things we help the people with to think or to develop their thought process. Okay, we always believe in the quality rather than the quantity. Okay, so that is the main goal for us in the tutor to develop your thought process, so that whenever a problem comes to you, you can give your 110% to think about a solution from the scratch. When coming to the system design, it's all about what are the different ambiguities, as I told earlier also. What are the different ambiguities? What are the different terminologies or the technologies like load balancers, like sequels, like NoSQLs, like rate limiters, all these things. There are n number of things in the system design. Okay, what are the non-functional requirements like scalability, availability, partition tolerance, consistency? If I talk in terms of consistency only, there will be a eventual consistency, how to maintain eventual consistency using the gossip protocol. Okay, all this thing we are going to discuss in the system design. This is again, Coming back to the system design, it is mainly divided into two parts, LLD and the HLD. So what I just told you is all about the HLD. When it comes to the LLD, it's all about the design patterns, which are the different design patterns you are going to, which is you are going to use, what are the different UML diagrams you are going to talk about, like the class diagram, sequence diagram, and all this stuff. So LLD is mostly believed to be, think of an application running on a single system, while the HLD works as a whole ecosystem for the system. Okay, so that's what we are going to talk about in the system design. Okay, how to prepare for those companies? It's a very great question. So to prepare for these companies, what we have to do is, first we have to be proficient in both DSA and system design. We have to practice DSA daily, at least for 1.5 hours. I believe in slow and steady. It means that you should have a habit of solving at least 3 problems daily in DSA, and you shouldn't be like just solving 10 problems in a day and you are not doing anything for rest 5 days. That is also wrong. So you should open up and keep on solving the problem, more and more problems. Should not look at the solutions immediately for a problem. It, if it takes time, it is fine. In the beginning, solving a problem is completely fine. Okay, you should stick to the problem. You try to get the solution by yourself. Okay, so in the system design, make notes, make do the case studies. So I forget to tell you about this also, that in the system design we also do the case studies. Okay. For example, e-commerce systems like Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, these are the food vendors, but I also consider them as e-commerce only. They are the platform which helps the third party to sell their product. So Swiggy, and then you have the cab aggregators like Uber, Ola. Then you have the another systems like notification systems, reminder systems, like this. So there are multiple case studies we are going to discuss. So all these case studies you should also do while you are preparing for these companies. Okay, so that is, so we have discussed about this. Now about coming to the job assistance and referrals. So what we do in the tutor is we always keep an eye on the people who are really doing well within the class and doing the assignments on their time. It's not about completing the assignments by your own, it's about you are putting effort in completing the assignments and you are asking the doubts. So when the person asks the doubts, it itself shows that whether the person is putting effort in solving the assignments or not. Okay, in the classroom sessions itself, it's shown that whether the person is really patient, really showing good inclined towards his career change. So the job assistants come. We, what we do is we help the people to build the resumes. Okay, good resumes. For example, if a person is 1 year to 2 years of experience, they shouldn't have resume more than one page. This is my perception. Then 3 to 6 years, two-page resume is fine. So how to showcase? So resume is something like a brochure for you to sell yourself. So how it is going to show the keen highlights of your skill sets. Okay, how much you have to write into the projects and all this. So we are going to help you to build the resumes. Okay, resume building. Then we conduct mock interviews. Okay. And we conduct hackathons. Okay. And yes. And what happens is also we do the referrals. Okay. Myself, I'm working with Microsoft. One of our mentor working with Google. We know the people in the Amazon. Some of the people are working for Walmart and everywhere. So we have a lot of network where we can ask the people to put a referral and also a good word with the hiring manager. Okay, that's how we will help you with the referrals. Okay, then coming to the next part is career guidance. What happens is What career guidance means is, suppose you are in a service based company and you want to move to a product based company. Now the question comes of how you can do that. Okay. Or it could be like if you got some multiple offers. Okay. If you got multiple offers, which offers to select, where to go with, how to negotiate on your current offer. Okay, like that. If you are demotivated or stuck with your current situation, how to move or how to get motivated to move to the next job. Okay, suppose you want to change your domain. If you are working in a DevOps and you want to move to the developer, how you will do that. So all this, we have the mentors who will consistently helping you over the this such topics. Okay, sometimes you're stuck with, okay, in a month you have to give an interview with Facebook, and how you're going to prepare with that. That is also we help. That is we also help to have the interview strategy prepared for you. Okay, what should your preparation will be. Okay, how should it should look like. So all this thing we are going to help you, and it is not like it is going to be the career guidance, job assistant referrals. This is going to be like a one time only. So what we believe in is the constant networking. So as soon as you are with us till lifelong, whenever you need any such career guidance, we will be there to help you out. We have the mentors available for you to help you out, to coach you. Okay, so coaching is very important because you demotivated at multiple times in your career, that how I'm stuck in this situation, or you got confused easily that okay, sometimes a certain company gives you hypothetically saying 10 lakh of package, another one is giving 9 lakh, but the breakup of 9 lakh is better than the 10 lakh. Okay, or the work which you are getting with the 9 lakh is better than the 10 lakh. Okay, all these things the mentors are going to help you with. Okay, so this is, I hope I answer most of the questions which we come along. If anything you have, you can contact tutor, okay, on the website, or please follow and subscribe the Instagram page and the YouTube channel. Thank you guys.